Hi everybody. In this video, we are going to learn how to invoke Python. We have already seen in the previous videos how to download and install Python. That is, now we have Python on our computers. How do we invoke it? That is, how are we going to use Python to give commands to the computer to do a task? We will see in this video that there are 4 different environments through which we can invoke Python. The first one is terminal or command prompt. In Mac operating systems we use terminal, and with Windows operating systems we use command prompt. The second environment for invoking Python is idle. Idle is the short form for integrated development environment. Idle is also different for Mac and Windows. The third environment is edit and run, where we use an editor to write programs or edit programs and then run them in the terminal node. The fourth and the final environment is Jupyter Notebooks. Very convenient way to invoke Python. Jupyter Notebooks are available on the website. Let's look at the first one, the terminal. I am using Mac OS, so I will use terminal. This is the terminal for my computer. Here I have to invoke Python. How do I do that? I invoke Python by typing Python at the terminal and return. When I do that, the screen shows the version of the Python which I am using. Here you can see that Python 3.7.6, and then I get the Python window. In the Python window, how do you know Python window or Python cursor? You will see that there are 3 arrows. That is your Python cursor. At that point, you can give Python commands, that is instructions to the computers using Python language. Let me give one command here. I am giving the command to the laptop or to the computer using a Python command. What is the command I have given? Print. What should it print? Welcome to Python. So this is the command I am giving to the computer, and when I press return, it prints welcome to Python. Right? This is the Python command which is given to the computer. Let's see some more. 3 plus 5 is 8. 6 multiplied by 7 is 42, or 78 minus 54 is 24. So these are all Python commands now. Very simple. And we are giving the commands at the Python window prompt. We are not at the terminal now. How do we go back to the terminal? By saying quit and 2 parentheses. It takes us back to the terminal. Can you see the terminal at the top here and here? Same? Yes. So we invoked Python at the terminal by typing Python, and we came back to the terminal by using quit command. We can go back to Python now again. Python. We have gone to the Python window. We can give one more command. Okay. Print. I am Hariprasad. right? It prints I am Hariprasad. Okay, I quit from here, go to the terminal, and now I go to the second environment. The second environment is idle or integrated development environment. Idle for Mac operating system and idle for Windows are different. How to use Python at idle Mac OS or idle Windows? There are YouTubes available. These are the two links, one for Mac OS, another for Windows. I'll be sharing these two links. You can watch depending on the OS you are using. If you are using Mac OS, you have to click on this link and you will see that YouTube. And if you are using Windows, you can click on this and see how to use Python idle for Windows. I have already watched those YouTubes. I am using Mac, so I have already seen how to use idle for Mac. So now I'll open idle for my Mac. And how do I open it? I go to here, work, yes, I've got my, here is the idle for Mac, Python idle. How do you know it's Python idle? You can see that there are 3 arrows. That is the indication for Python. So I can type here the commands which I have already used at the terminal and see how they work, whether it works or not. So I am typing the same commands. Yes, it works. 3 plus 5, 3 plus 6 is 9. 5 multiplied by 9 is 45. Yes, it works. You can see that, right? So when we give commands at the idle, then we see that the computer is obeying instructions given using Python. This is instruction by instruction. We give 3 plus 6 and 9. 5 into 9, 45. Print I am Hariprasad. Yes, I am Hariprasad. But instead of this, we can write the program and run it here. How do we do that? You can open a new file. Here is the new file. I can write the program, print welcome to Python, print I am Hariprasad, print I am your tutor. Right? Now there are 3 commands, and these 3 commands together form our program now. I will save this program. I will save this program as my first program. So I have saved this program as first program. Then now I run the program and see. See, I have run the program and it printed welcome to Python. It printed I am Hariprasad, and then it says there is some error. Right? It didn't print. It didn't print. What is the error? You can see that the P is capital. So I go back to the file, I change it into small p, and save it. Now I run the program again. When I run the program, it prints now everything without any errors. Welcome to Python. I am Hariprasad. I am your tutor. So, idle gives an option of giving a command by command and get the answer, or you can write a program and run it in the idle. Now let's look at the third environment. The third environment is called edit and run. That is, we edit a program or write a program in the editor and run it at the terminal. In fact, we have already written a program in the editor while using idle. Right? What was the program? Let's open it. This was the program which we wrote, where we had three print commands, and this program we called it first program.py. Now let's go to the terminal. In the terminal, we need to run the program which is given here. How do we run the program? We say Python 3 first program. Alright, we are writing Python 3 because we are using Python version 3. That's why we are writing Python 3. Remember, we haven't invoked Python here as we did in the first environment. In the first environment, at the terminal, we typed just Python and then we got the Python prompt. When we got the Python prompt, then we ran the commands, Python commands. But here we are, from the terminal itself, we are just running the program by using the Python 3 command. Now, when I return, it prints the three sentences which we wrote. Let's try one more. I'll say print. Print what? Print we are learning how to invoke Python. Right? Now, that's the sentence which I've said. I save it and now I run the program again. Python 3 first program.py. Can you see now? There's a fourth sentence. We are learning how to invoke Python. Right? So this is the third way of invoking the program. How? You write the program in the editor, save it, and run the program in the terminal. Let's look at the fourth way of invoking Python. That is through Jupyter Notebooks. Jupyter Notebook is available on the internet, and we need to invoke Jupyter Notebook from the terminal. How do you do that? You open the terminal and type Jupyter Notebook. Please notice the spelling of Jupyter. It is not J-U-P-I, it is J-U-P-Y-T-E-R and notebook. When you press enter, it opens the Jupyter Notebook. It has opened the Jupyter Notebook with the folder which I have been using. So you can see the files on my folders. And if I look at running, there are no terminals running and there are no notebooks running, it says. So what does it mean? That means no program is running now. How do I run a program? So I go to new and invoke Python. I have invoked Python now. Right? Here is your prompt. And in this position, you can now use Python commands. Look at how easy it is. As you are typing, it gives you both the parentheses. It helps you in identifying once you enter, once you run here, it gives you welcome to Python. Similarly, print I am Hariprasad and run it, it gives the answer. Or 6 plus 7, run it, it shows 13. So here is Jupyter Notebook. In fact, it helps you in using Python syntax properly, like giving the brackets, parentheses, etc. Right. This is your fourth way of invoking Python environment. So we have seen in this video now how to invoke Python. We can invoke Python in 4 different environments. One is at the terminal, the other is using idle, and the third one is you use an editor and run it at the terminal, or use the Jupyter Notebooks. Okay, depending on the topic, depending on what we want to write, we'll be using any of these environments. Particularly, we'll be using edit, run, Jupyter. Thank you.